Hi, and welcome to KirbKast. This is the second episode. I'm Kirby Phil, your host, and here we have Gray Dunstan. Gray, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Dude, I can't complain, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right, so right at the bat, Gray, tell me about yourself. Who are you, man?
I was born in Pittsburgh. I lived outside of a small town on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. And now I'm down at Full Sail to work on music, and that's pretty much all I do is work on music. So,
Oh, man. Tell me, what type of music are you working on these days?
I guess I can't really classify it as one genre, but it would definitely fall into the rap hip hop categories. But I try to experiment with everything, get a little bit of all the genres.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
How long you been doing the rap game?
Honestly, I didn't even start as a rapper. I started writing poetry in about 7th grade, and that kind of escalated from there because I couldn't really sing, but I wanted to work with music, and then rap started becoming popular, so I kind of found my place in there. In high school, I started getting like studio parts together and stuff, and just the simple basement recording stuff.
All right.
It kind of took off from there. So,
Tell, man. So you said here you're at Full Sail.
mm-hmm.
What major are you in at Full Sail?
I'm a recording arts major.
Recording arts. What
Yeah.
made you want to do that out of millions of other majors that Full Sail has to offer?
Actually, I was not aware that music production was a thing whenever I was looking at the program, but it turned out that recording arts would have been better for me anyways because I'm not really into all the music production aspects. So recording arts worked out, but I have a friend that came down here about a year and a half before me, and he's the one that kind of introduced me to Full Sail and the recording arts program.
Okay, neat, man.
Mm-hmm.
So you said you're from
Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So how big of a difference is from Pittsburgh to Florida?
Oh man, it's crazy. The weather is.
I know it's a long drive and just long distance altogether.
Yeah, the weather is probably the biggest noticeable difference, and also it's just it's like a different world. If I had to, put it simple, there's hills everywhere and mountains and stuff up there, and
Sounds beautiful.
it's pretty scenic. The people are definitely different in terms of just like down here, music is like a culture. Like everyone is with music.
Oh yeah.
And up there, it's kind of, I don't know where everyone's at up there, but they're on to something different. So, but yeah, it definitely is like a different world, but it's cool. I like it down here.
So like Orlando's your thing then?
Yeah. I like Orlando. It's
Weather, I guess is that a good spot too? Or?
Yeah, I can't complain about the weather. I mean, it rains often down here, but for the most part, it's nice. So
Nothing wrong with getting wet.
yeah.
All right, cool. Well, back to your musical background. Where does it all come from, man?
Probably the moment I knew that I was in like love with music was when I was younger. I went to see The Fray.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How to Save a Life.
Yeah. I actually saw that concert, How to Save a Life, and
cool.
I can't even remember how old I was, but it was just insane how awesome everything about that whole scene was, and I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. So I was heavily influenced by like that whole alternative rock side kind of genre.
Yeah, they got a good feel and a good sound.
Yeah. It's kind of unique. And then I started listening to more The Fray, Coldplay, Linkin Park, stuff like that, and all that kind of ties into my music today. So
All right, cool.
mm-hmm.
Well, so I guess you could say Fray is one of your favorites.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, out of all that, who else do you look up to?
My main influence, probably musically and like creatively, is an artist called Party Next Door.
Party Next Door.
Jerome
I don't think I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's from Toronto, Mississauga. He's kind of popularized from working with Drake, but other than that, he remains kind of exclusive on the music side. But he just has a really crazy work ethic, and he makes a lot of music, and it's all really good. So that definitely is where I get most of my inspiration from.
You say exclusive. Can you give one more tip? What do you mean by exclusive?
He remains in the shadows. You don't really hear much about him. It's kind of cool actually. I think he's only done one interview in his whole music career.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really go like out and do concerts. He had one world tour and it was sold out the first world tour.
Huh.
And other than that, he's not really seen in public much. So it just gives him that factor, that mysterious aurora kind of thing where you never know what he's up to. But
No wonder you're a fan. It sounds like I should be one too then.
yeah, he makes dope music. You should definitely check it out.
All right, neat. Well, out of all these people you've been talking about, I gotta ask, who's your number one favorite?
Oh man, my number one favorite. That's
Big question, I know.
That is a tough one. I would have to definitely go with the Fray.
The
for
Fray.
number one. Yeah.
They still tour today?
I think they just did a tour recently for their newest album, but I'm not sure. I can't say like 100% certainty, but I do know they still make music. I have their new album. It was on iTunes a couple months ago, I think.
All right, cool, man. All right. Well, I gotta say, the Fray and Gray, not only do they rhyme, but your real name is Zachary, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct.
Why did you decide to just roll with Gray?
Well, Gray is actually my middle name. So I went through a couple stage names when I was starting out. Hexic, I think, was one of them. But ultimately, I just decided to run with my middle name because it was more me. And I didn't really have to try to think of anything creative that would reflect my music because Gray, that's my middle name. So why not?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Is there any other Grays out there that you picking out of, like anybody that's trying to like steal the thunder?
There is a Gray. He's a South Korean artist, and he does more EDM, dubstep type music. He's pretty popular, but I do not think he's made his way into the North American music scene. So,
do you think you're farther than him when it comes to getting into the music business?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, he has things looking out for him. He has I'm pretty sure he's signed with label and stuff like that. So, but I've just looked him up once or twice. I don't think I've ever actually like talked to him or whatever.
Right.
But, yeah.
Okay. Well, when it comes to content, I got to understand that you have a SoundCloud,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you got a decent amount of followers there. Tell us about the SoundCloud. How long has that been going with you?
My SoundCloud has been there since probably 9th grade, but just this year actually I restarted it and deleted all my old music.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, I just felt that my music has like evolved and changed so much that the older music that I started making wasn't really up to par with what I was doing now. So I took all that stuff off. I still have it on like my hard drive and everything.
But you just felt like you evolved from that type of style, I guess?
Yeah, it was a really different genre of music that I was making before. I was doing the more classic rap over like 90s hip hop beats and stuff like that. And it's really evolved into more of an electronic feel now.
Electronic.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just electronic and rap that you're naming mainly that you work with, or what else do you work with?
I work with, actually me and my producer have a EP coming out in a couple months called Drug Induced Poetry.
Oh yeah.
And it was actually heavily inspired by like how I was talking about earlier, like the rock and roll scene. So we have a lot of like electric guitar sounds, more like acoustic drums, and less hip hoppy feel, but we still try to like capture that rap element in the music.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So you got yourself a producer?
Yeah, correct.
Tell me about him. Who's that?
Highway. Who is Highway? Highway Productions and Highway Instrumentals. That is my dude.
Shout out to Highway.
Yeah, shout out to Highway for real. I would not be here without that man. He, I guess me and him both kind of got in around the same time in high school, and he just was making beats, and I was just rapping over him, and that's how that went. And
he just saw that, like, he's like, oh, okay, you like my song? Oh, you can actually. Oh, so he liked your rap, huh?
Yeah. We're fans of each other's work, so it works out really nicely.
Hell yeah.
He's also an artist himself, but he hasn't really debuted much yet. But like I said, that EP that's coming out is it's with both of us, and he produced the whole thing. So it'll be him and me on all the songs, and you'll get to hear a little bit of him rap and sing and stuff too. So.
Oh, all right. Is it just you, or do you have anyone else that's a feature artist on there?
as of right now, we don't have any other features on there. It's just us two. That's something that we really wanted to, stay in line with, is just having the two of us on like a solo collaborative EP. But yeah, the idea for features is still open, but as of now, we don't have any lined up.
How much longer do you guys have a date when you think the album will drop?
We don't have a specific date, no, but it's in the final production stages. So we're kind of cutting down on the songs and trying to eliminate all of them except 5, and then we'll go from there.
All right. How many am I allowed to ask, or you don't want to share? But how far are you into the album as of right now?
As of right now, we are past the album. We've recorded way more than 5 songs, so we have, I would say, probably 12 to 17 songs that are done. We're just trying to pick out the 5 that reflect what we want the album to be the best, and then from those 5, we're gonna go in and master them and do the whole final productions. But yeah, it's just narrowing it down right now, and then we'll be good.
Dope, man.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask, how long have you and Highway been a thing?
Probably since 10th, 11th grade. We've been working together. Yeah. Yeah. And then,
like I said, you met in high school, but you guys just found each other over each other's music.
Yeah.
Was that like in person or like on SoundCloud? Like,
yeah, we were actually pretty close friends before the music started. And then I started rapping, and I remember he wanted to actually rap with me, so me and him would just like go on YouTube and look up beats and stuff and rap. But I think the whole thing is we couldn't really find like good beats, so he got a Mac and he just started producing, and it was great. It was honestly awesome. So we just have been working together ever since then.
Dope, man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you went to high school, and you find yourself a buddy, and if I'm not mistaken, you and Highway are rooming right now, both going to Full Sail.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Like the fact that you got your buddy and y'all are still going strong together with this adventure.
Yeah,
and making a name out of yourself.
Yeah, it made things a lot easier. Definitely coming down to Florida from Pittsburgh, we both kind of had the idea together that we just wanted to pursue music. We just weren't sure how to go about it, and then we figured out Full Sail was a thing, and we figured why not, and here we are a couple months later.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Okay, well, I got another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, if Highway's here, he could help answer you for it. But what is a challenge or multiple challenges that you, and I guess Highway too, since y'all are pretty much a team,
mm-hmm.
what are some challenges that as an artist that you guys have gone through, that maybe you're still, trying to overcome, or you've already kicked its ass? What are you still working with?
I think a big challenge for both of us is just having that creative mindset that we strive for. Because we can make a lot of music, and we can make music fast, but we really try and have it be filled with substance and try to reflect what we want it to be. So I think the biggest challenge for us is definitely just creating that music that we think is right. But once we get past that, or like once we get an idea flowing, then it just goes and flows, and it's really nice. I know one of my challenges is probably writing. I started writing in 7th grade, but I took a really long break whenever I came down here because college is just the workload.
Yeah, you got to focus on the main things.
So it's been hard to get time to write, but I have been squeezing it in here and there. So yeah, it's coming along.
Okay. I hear you. Well, on these type of challenges, what do you think would be the hardest out of all of them, man? Like, what really was it? The lyrics that just like you really had to push some weight off you? Like, what was the hardest thing about getting Gray somewhere?
The hardest thing I think that me and Highway had to do, or me or him too, but just in general, was definitely build up a fan base, and that would be the biggest thing starting out for anybody, I think, is getting their fan base together. And then we left Pittsburgh, which is where our core fan base was located, because we hadn't really hit the internet yet. We were still just like local rap scene kind of group.
Right.
And then moving down here, we weren't really known. But we've been working on networking a lot, and working with other blogs and stuff definitely helps. But that's the challenge that we're still working on, is definitely just getting out there.
Just trying to get your
see.
name.
Yeah.
Social media wise, do you guys what do you have out there other than just the SoundCloud?
You can find us on SoundCloud at mine is Who Is Gray. His is Highway Productions. I also have Twitter, Who Is Gray. Facebook. My page is The Real Gray. My Facebook page. I'm actually debuting a single on iTunes, so you'll be able to find that on there.
Oh, awesome,
hopefully
man!
within the next couple weeks. Yeah.
Dope.
And
What's the name of the single?
Gravity. It's
Gravity.
Gravity featuring Steesfield. That'll come out. It's finished. I just am working on licensing with iTunes and the whole legal stuff that they have going on because I'm an unsigned artist.
Right.
So it should be up within a couple weeks. I just need to get the approval. And then I'm also working on Spotify. So when that's up, it'll be Spotify Who Is Gray.
Oh
And
yeah,
that'll be on
I'm a
Spotify.
big Spotify user.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, the Beatles just recently they came
Mhm.
out on Spotify. I was so excited. I was like, now they even got AC/DC. I mean, they have all the artists I've been looking for. You know,
Yeah.
iTunes was still struggling, Pandora was still struggling, and,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, I love Spotify, but they don't even have my favorite artists. And then, bam, Christmas Eve, they got who I was looking for.
Mhm.
And the fact that you're gonna get on Spotify soon just excites me even more, man.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I definitely had to get on Spotify. I realized that that's where the whole music
It's just getting
listening was
bigger.
shifting to. Yeah, it's taking over. So
I heard that they're even, or it maybe already exists, but I heard they're even putting like live streaming on Spotify and stuff,
oh wow, that'd
like
be really
concerts and
cool.
stuff.
Yeah,
I thought that'd be so neat.
that would take over the game if they did that.
pushing Pandora right out of the water.
Yeah.
All right. Well, other than Highway, because he's basically part of your team,
Mm-hmm.
collaboration is I've discovered as a musician and from just doing these podcasts, I've discovered that collaboration is a big deal for artists.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you and Highway are still trying to get your name out there. It's out there, but you know, kind of ironically, get your Highway going.
Yeah.
Some good ways to spread is collab with people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, collaborate. Have you and you know, you're a Full Sail, and I think you know as well as I do. It's just tons of people, tons of artists and musicians, producers, all alike and same and different.
Mhm.
Have you collabed with anybody since you came here, or at all?
Since I came down here, I've collabed with a couple people. I've had a few people that I met that were other their own artists. They came over and we've, kind of threw ideas around and recorded some songs here and there. J. Lou, I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but he's actually an artist at Full Sail. So me and him have a song out on SoundCloud. And me and my other friend, Gold Soul Rebel, he's another artist that I've worked with since I've been down here.
Oh, all right, neat.
Mhm.
And are they both rappers as well?
Yeah. J. Lou, he's more of an R&B singer, but he does come out and rap every now and then. The vibe is right.
And same with the other guy, or
Gold Soul, he's actually just a rapper as far as I know. All the work that I've seen, he's been rapping on. So yeah.
dope, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, tell me this: if you could work with one artist, any artist in the world, prefer dead or alive, whatever you want, who is one guy or girl that you would love to work with? Somebody that you would just love to make a piece with.
Oh man, if I could pick one person, it would probably be Chris Martin or Party Next Door.
Really?
I'd say, yeah. I think Chris Martin because I just feel like he is one of the contemporary legends of our time, and Party Next Door because that's my influence for the music I make today. So yeah,
I agree with
either
you,
one of
man.
them that would be a blessing.
If I could, I would love to play with Paul McCartney, man.
Yeah.
It'd be a dream. All right. Well, you say you got your SoundCloud and you're working on social media. Anything's on the YouTubes that, maybe we could hear about?
Yeah, actually I do have a YouTube. It's Official Gray. I don't use YouTube that much. I should really start getting back into that, but
I know it'll definitely increase the way it is. I mean, I see all these artists, and the way you can keep it up, you can get yourself your own Vivo and all that for the type of deals. Putting on the YouTube there, if you didn't know, it's probably like the third or the fourth most viewed website of all time.
mm-hmm.
And what I know that a lot of people do is that they don't think that YouTube is just, they don't think their music belongs on there. It's like, oh, well, I'm underground. I'm still just trying to find out where I can stand, if I can get my feet out from under me.
Mm-hmm.
And what they don't understand is YouTube is humongous, and I think a lot of artists make that mistake, and they don't try there. They think it's all just for videos, but you don't even need a music video or anything.
Yeah.
Just put your simple audio out there, man. Just give them something. Give them a taste, because you can find a whole bunch of new artists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I've found a lot of artists through YouTube, actually. So.
As well as fans.
Yeah. So I'm definitely trying to do that. It's just a process to get, because I know, especially in my music, I use a lot of samples, and YouTube is really big on their copyright infringement.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
always on that. So I'm working on getting samples like cleared out and stuff like that, and figure out which songs I can put on there legally and which songs are gonna get like flagged on my account. But I do have a few of my songs on there right now at Official Gray, and also music videos you were talking about. So I have that on there. But yeah, there's definitely gonna be more YouTube material from me to come here in the next few weeks.
Awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to look forward for that.
Thanks. Yeah, that'll be nice.
So, let's talk about family from there. What background are you from? Other than the city.
Well, my grandma is French, so I have a little bit of that. Speak a little French, not too much.
All right.
And
you want to give us a little demo?
No, I'm working on my French rap album right now. So that's,
rap album.
No, I'm not actually doing that. For the record, that's not a thing. But other than that, I have Irish. I have a bunch of stuff in me.
You're just a mutt, huh?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of everything.
Cool. Well, more about it, man. Like, cool about your regions. Tell me about the family themselves, man. Like, you still keep in touch?
Yeah.
How big of a family you got?
All the time. I don't have a really big family, but it's decent. I have a younger brother and sister. My mom and dad are divorced right now. My dad lives in West Virginia, but he actually owns property down here in Jacksonville.
Oh, really?
So I see him often. He comes down every now and then, and when I go up for the holidays and stuff, I stay with my mom. So, yeah.
Tell me, how does your family, do? How do they feel about you being a rapper and trying to chase your dreams to be, maybe the next Eminem, or at least work with them?
At first, I really don't think they were on board. They might say they were, but I'm not sure if they were. But now they're definitely like 100% behind me.
They support you?
Yeah, I have to shout out my mom because she's helping me pay for the college that I'm going to for music. So that's a plus. So she definitely supports me. And yeah, they're avid fans. They'll ask me to send them new music all the time. So.
Oh, awesome, man.
Yeah.
Cool. And they're still up in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Cool. I got to ask because, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there just wondering it. Are you a Steelers fan?
Oh, yeah. I don't really follow football all that much, but I do love the Steelers. I think Pittsburgh in general is just like a sports city. Everybody there is all about sports, whether you watch them or not. So
it's huge.
Yeah. It's Steelers and Penguins, definitely. I actually played hockey for 10 years, so
oh, really?
I'm more into Penguins, yeah. Yeah, that's my team.
Were you any good at hockey?
Kinda. Yeah, I was all right. Yeah.
High school, middle school?
Yeah, I started actually when I was like 5 or 6 is when I started skating, and I just played all the way up until high school, but it just became one of those things. It was too expensive if I wasn't going to do it professionally, and my goals kind of lied with music, so
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, neat. All right, well, back to the artist idea. When you collabed with these people at your school and even Highway, how did that feel knowing that somebody wants to make a piece with you? They like what you sound and they see the capabilities that you're made of. How does it feel that they want to work with you?
It's really awesome, honestly. It makes you feel blessed and humbled because, like, starting out, we didn't really have many people that took like our music seriously. So being able to come down here and like have all these people that just love music and just want to create music and create like the vibes that they like, and you can collaborate with them and have like the perfect mix of both. It's really awesome.
Awesome, man. Have you ever thought about doing any band work, any like live performances at all?
Yeah, I've really wanted to get into live performances actually. I definitely want to get my my solo project finished before I explore those options. But definitely whenever I get that finished, I will be looking at like performing with a live band and hopefully getting some shows set up.
What do you think is the number one key to getting your name out there?
Social media.
Social media.
Especially now, yeah, social media. It's kind of half and half, honestly, between social media and just going out there and, forcing people to be aware of your presence. But
it's not just all about handing out mixtapes, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of behind the scenes work, I would say. But yeah, I would say social media and trying to just perform at shows, openings, stuff like that can be really important. And having a team of people that are, with your movement as well to support you, because when people see that you have supporters, they become interested and want to know more about you. So yeah, I think those are the most important things.
Dope.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I got a big question here, thinking about it more. I've heard a lot of people saying, to get to the next level musically, producingly,
mm-hmm.
to get to the next level, you can either get signed or go independent style and, make a deal with Sony or something, distribution.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the best way? Should an artist go out and get signed by Monster Records, or do they need to stay completely loyal to their fans and not sell out and keep doing as much of the underground stuff as they can till they finally make it to where they can play with the Foo Fighters?
Personally, from my perspective,
I guess what would be, beat around the bush, and the question is,
mm-hmm.
what would you want to do, Greg?
Yeah. I would love to just stay independent and continue making the music that I make, and hopefully one day be able to start my own group or like join in with another group that I respect. But I guess it also depends on where your loyalties lie. Like if you're in it to, make money and, put your family in a better situation or whatever the cause may be, then definitely signing would be an option that I think is overlooked. But for me, independent would be the way to go. For sure.
You care about your fans a lot, huh?
Yeah, that and just the music in general, because I like making music, so I would hate to have like restrictions on what I can create. I think that would be terrible. So.
Yeah, that would pretty much blow.
Yeah.
I know a couple friends that they are signed, and they tell me how they have a quota that they have to meet. They have to, they got to write 2 albums, and they have about 18 months to do that.
Yeah.
How do you feel if somebody was like, all right, Gray, you're doing great, but to get you to the next level, buddy, you're gonna start putting some content out there, man. How would you feel if they put that type of weight on you?
I think that's pretty stressful stuff whenever you have people pushing release dates. And
do you think you could do it?
Yeah. I think the team that I have right now, between all of us, we could definitely produce 2 albums in 18 months if that was the situation. But the problem is just being the right 2 albums, which I think is what the time constraint would take away from. But yeah.
Taking away your final decisions.
Yeah. Things where you would release it and be like, oh man, I wish I did this different, or I wish I changed this. I feel like that would be a big thing if I had to release a project within a certain time frame. But I do understand that you have to release projects within certain time frames a lot of the time. So yeah.
Yeah, that's where a lot of artists can go wrong. I mean, I'm no expert, but you can tell when somebody's hitting their peak, and then when their next piece of content comes out and it's just not as strong as,
mm-hmm.
What it was before.
Yeah.
And sometimes that happens, legal things could happen, family gets in the way, or it's just sometimes it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when either they're going to have to start paying people to write their own songs just so they can stretch it out.
Yeah.
Or they really got to cram down and just, do it like who am I thinking of? Metallica. I know that, not bashing on Metallica, love them, but like their Saint Anger album. Are you a fan of Metallica?
Not an avid fan, no. I don't get much chance to listen to them.
But you're aware of them.
Yeah, of course.
All right, neat. Well, they've been around since the 80s, and they came out with this album. It was Saint Anger, I believe it was called. And the albums before that just kicked butt. I mean, everybody loved them. But just like those time constraints that what you're talking about, I think the Saint Anger one pretty much kind of took the pain off of that, because from what I've read, it's the worst album they've ever written. And I did more research, and I think it was because of the whole constriction thing. And
Yeah.
I can only name like one song in the whole album that I think is at least shareable.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Labels will get you with that. I've been approached by 2 labels, I think. Not just indie labels, but it's just it's a bad situation to be in for like artists that are just starting out or just starting to, gather their hype and presence online, because they like it's a deal, so why not. But a lot of the times, there's time constraints, or like the
What advice would you give on that? If a young artist was just getting out there and he was already offered a record deal, what do you say to that?
I would definitely say, if it's a legal contract, definitely get a lawyer to read that stuff over and just explore all your options, because signing is not, it's not an ultimatum. There's other things that you can do outside of just signing or not signing. There's always different deals to be worked out. So,
Oh man, awesome.
mm-hmm.
So you want to do live shows, but yet you've never done one.
I've done a couple, just not down here.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're fine. I've performed in Pittsburgh 3 times, I think.
3 times.
Yeah.
What type of gigs are these?
We
talking bar? We talking group gatherings, churches? What are we doing?
mostly just after school type things at the high school, talent shows.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal. Like,
Yeah.
especially if you're in high school, abuse those talent shows. Tell you what, me and my band, we did a talent show once, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we actually did it twice. And the first time, my lead singer, who was super nervous, like we've done small little church gigs. My parents used to own a bar, and we would play there every now and then. And then we got on stage, and it was the biggest crowd that we have ever played in. Personally, I had some butterflies in there, but I knew that I was ready. All we had to do was play one song. That was it. We did "Knocking on Heaven's Door" by the Guns N' Roses version,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an easy song, but I'm not gonna say his name, but poor guy got butterflies in his stomach, and when the curtains undid, right, like before he was telling me, he's like, dude, I'm really nervous, man, like my anxiety's messing me up. I was like, dude, just calm down, take a deep breath. You're gonna get in the motion as soon as you get on stage. Did you and when the curtains, when they just came by and everybody started like cheering because they see a full band.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were the only actual band that participated in there. The rest was like dancers and painters. But when they saw like a 3-piece band on stage, everybody immediately started cheering and stuff, like they were ready. And it just filled them up with like pretty much with just a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
And before you know it, he was doing his best Axl, and needless to say, it was so entertaining and fun, and to be a part of that.
That's awesome.
And your next question, did we win? I wish. We got People's Choice, but that was about it.
It's cool. I didn't win either, man. So, yeah, we could both take L's.
Were you nervous when you did your first little show?
Oh, yeah.
You can't ever forget your first show.
Yeah, not at all. I was definitely nervous, but like you were saying, I think once, the curtains open and you're on the stage, it's just it's its own world. You're not really focused on that anxiety anymore. So it becomes a lot easier once you're actually performing. But definitely that pre-stage anxiety, it's real. It definitely happens.
Yeah. If you gotta have confidence in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy that was in my band had anxiety, and I'm thankful I don't have such a thing, but note to self, don't ever, ever, ever have somebody in the band with anxiety. You stage fright and crap, man. Like, you don't know how many gigs there were where we had to stop because he couldn't take it and stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the showbiz, you got to make sure you're ready for that. And I see a lot of musicians these days that just they want a taste of famous and rock city. They want it, but at the same time, you got to be ready mentally. You can have all the best stuff in the world. Your best team is producer. You can have Highway on your team, but you have to be ready for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges that you'll have to overcome just beyond music itself. So, yeah.
All right, well, social media is a big factor thanks to technology and stuff. It's no more about putting posters on walls or anything like it was like back in the 70s. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
What do you think is a good milestone for you and Highway? Like, what do you think, give you a good indication that, you're walking your way up on that ladder?
I think my indication would definitely be maybe a single blowing up on SoundCloud or whatever platform for streaming. That or SoundCloud followers. I don't really think my Twitter followers or Facebook likes has anything to do with my music, because they could have just found my Twitter and decided to follow me. So I think my ultimate goal is to just reach that level of hype on a music platform. That'd be cool.
How do you guys feel like you'd be prepared if, let's say, somebody offered you and Highway a chance to do about a 20 minute set on stage?
Yeah, we would definitely be prepared.
You think so?
Yeah, we have a lot of music, so we could pull it off, I'm sure.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Okay, neat. Okay, on another scale, I guess you could ask, being at Full Sail, it's a big school, and you're always there every day, and you just see a lot of other talent, and there's people that are bigger out there than you and me, and there's a bunch of them. How does it make you feel when you see somebody, they're still local, but yet they just keep skyrocketing, and they notice it when they come up to you and they want you to look up their social media and, check out my Facebook, here's my mixtape in the link. How does that make you feel? Like, does that inspire you? Does it anger you?
Yeah, inspiring is a good word. It's definitely, inspiring. Because I've been in a situation where I've seen people that were ahead of me, and then I feel like there's just always going to be somebody that's ahead of you, whether it's in work ethic, attention, presence online. There's just always going to be somebody.
There's always going to be talent.
Yeah. So you just have to set your own personal goals and work towards them and achieve, what you ultimately want. And I think that's the only way you're ever going to be happy, because if you worry about, too much who's doing this and who's doing that, it's just going to force you to want to be something or do something that you didn't want to do in the first place, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally, man. Awesome. Okay, well, here's something that I think you could wrap your head around. What do you think is more important, as an artist, as a musician? What do you think at the end of the day lies down for the fans? Is it the more songs you put out, or is it the quality of your songs that you put out? What do you think is more important at the end of the day?
The quality, yeah. I know you could release a lot of music that wasn't substance filled or wasn't, what you're used to putting out, and it may catch, it may be cool to some people, but definitely for me it's more important to have quality music. I know whenever I make a song, there's just so many little things that go into making it, because it has some people may not even hear like the certain things that Highway can hear, but Highway will just make sure that everything's perfect, or we'll bounce ideas back and forth until it is perfect. So quality is a big thing for us.
Awesome, man. That's really special when you think about that, especially for your fans, man. At the end of the day, as many stuff as you can put out, if you sound like crap, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. So we just try and make the best music that we can, and we don't really worry about the time frame that we have to do it in. I know a big thing for me now is I try and release a song at least once a month. I try and have something on my SoundCloud.
That's a good quote.
Yeah, so we do work towards it. We record a lot more than one song a month, but to meet like our expectations of what can be out there, it definitely starts to back up a little bit.
How often do you guys produce?
Pretty much every day. Sometimes Full Sail will hit us with a pretty crazy schedule.
Yeah, totally.
We won't have much time. Sometimes there's
Full Sail's nickname is Sleep Deprived University. It's a 24-hour campus that never shuts.
Yes, exactly. So it is hard sometimes to make time, but we try and produce or write or create something or start something every day at least. We might not finish it that day. It might take us a week to finish it, but we always try to fit time into our schedule where we can just work on stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm in my own little band right now. You know, I got a bunch of people from Full Sail. We each have our own musical talents and all that, but especially that we're different majors, we try the best time as we can to just get at least one little band practice in there.
Yeah, that's awesome though. I mean, that's what you got to do. It's those little times that count.
It's the craziest little schedules I have ever witnessed ever.
Yeah.
I remember when I applied here, and my father, he was like, "So he needs to get a job. Where do you recommend?" They go, "Oh no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't need a job." They're like, "What do you mean, like tuition and such?" And she's like, "The way the schedules are going, he couldn't hold down a job."
Yeah. Yeah, a job is not very possible here. It might have been the first 2 months, but definitely not anymore. The schedule has just picked up so much, but
it's crazy, man. But like at the end of the day, it's gonna be all worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's say this musical career that we're both aiming for. Let's say it's going down the drain. You're not really finding the success that you're tasting, and you just let's say highway just bails out on you or whatever. Worst of the worst happens. What are you gonna do if the worst of the worst can happen to you?
Honestly, what I've planned for,
do you have a backup plan, or do you have just a strategy you have?
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna actually stop making music, and so it's cool if I don't hit that high road to fame or whatever. But music is just important to me, so I'll always be making that. But after college, I was definitely looking into producing for video game companies or movie companies. I think it would be cool to do scores, and background music would be awesome. So that's something I've been exploring. And other than that, I guess just working with music at the end of the day is a really big thing. So as long as I'm working with music, I'm content.
You'll be happy.
Yeah.
I got you, man. So you do the vocals, of course. In Highway, you said his voice is featured on this upcoming album, which what is it called, by the way?
Drug-Induced Poetry.
Drug-Induced Poetry. It's an awesome title.
Thank you.
So you're mainly the voice, and Highway, does he do the beats exactly, or is that you?
Well, the thing about this album, Drug-Induced Poetry, is it's both of us on everything. I've produced a little bit. I've thrown in
both y'all are
ideas.
switching seats, huh?
Yeah. So he has some verses on there where he raps. He has some choruses where he'll sing. And then I have my fair share of rapping verses and singing choruses. And then for the production, we kind of just went half and half. I mean, I'll play some harmonies, melodies, whatever, and he'll hear something and be like, yo, we got to record that. And then he'll put the percussion behind it, or vice versa. It'll go either way. So yeah, I think that's why it's a pretty big project for us, because we're both stepping out of our normal roles and trying to.
Is this the first?
New.
Is this the first album?
No, I actually had an album previous to this with a Canadian artist, Aidan Murphy. He's from Edmonton. Me and him had a collaborative 5-song EP called "It Is What It Is," and that's also on my SoundCloud.
Check it out on the SoundCloud now.
Yeah. Free promo. I'll throw it out there.
All right, cool. Well, this is album 2, and I got to ask, because, I feel like maybe you can answer this. Are you able to see how good the first album hit? Were you just featured on one song of that album, or was that all album with you and the Canadian guy?
It was all with me and Aiden, and we had a couple decent name features, so it was bigger than we expected it to be, and I've managed to build up my following and presence through that album. So I'm hoping the second one kind of expands on that and solidifies the presence that we've built so far.
How good was the success on the first one?
Well, I had a funny run-in with SoundCloud's legal team, so my success was kind of cut down a lot. We were pushing. My SoundCloud was at about 2 million views per day.
Oh man!
Because we got our hands on some exclusive music that we could post, and the SoundCloud just started really picking up. So then from there, we went to release our album on that SoundCloud, because it wasn't my main SoundCloud. It was a promotional SoundCloud page.
Yeah.
And so we figured we would turn that one into our main SoundCloud and release our music off of that one. But then SoundCloud's legal team came in and shut us down for copyright infringement.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we lost all of our views, our followers, and any traces of that account. So it doesn't exist anymore. So we had to release it.
So nasty that you got kicked off.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. The promotional SoundCloud is back up finally after talking with them for a long time. A lot of the follower count, the view count, all that reset. So
SoundCloud gave you all another chance.
Yeah, basically. So
Awesome.
we're kind of working on building that back up. And so between that, now that one's up and my main one, I'm hoping that the second album will definitely progress a lot more.
Okay. Now obviously I wasn't there, but I guess if it's okay to ask, did you guys learn? Have you guys learned your lesson? Have you figured out what you can and can't do for this next promotion?
Yeah, pretty much. For the promotional page, what I did is now instead of releasing music that isn't mine, because I was using it as SoundCloud for people to listen to, other artists on. So instead of doing that now, it's just going to be strictly, music that has been made by us and
all original,
the people that we like. Yeah, so
good.
So that's SoundCloud. That's good. Everything's good with that. We still do samples and stuff, but yeah, it's all non-profit until someone hits us up to pay for it.
Heard you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations on the upcoming album, man. I can't wait to hear it myself.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
Where can we find the album again?
The album will be available on SoundCloud at Who Is Gray, on iTunes at Gray, and on my Twitter, Facebook. I'll have links everywhere on all of those sites for it.
All right. And I'll be sure to put all those links in the description for this video as well.
Thank you. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Thanks.
Hell yeah, man. All right, so we still got a couple more minutes left.
Cool.
Feel free to pop any questions on me as well. A question I got for you. It's a big change from coming up from just picking a buddy at high school, and now you guys are both in college in a whole different state, different weather and different girls. Everything is different here.
Yeah,
but yeah, you guys are still trying to keep your traditional roots. Do you guys still? Little quick question: do you guys still give credit to Pittsburgh and all that y'all represent and all?
Yeah, Pittsburgh's cool. I definitely would not. Neither of us. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but I'm just gonna assume that neither of us would really be where we're at without the initial support that Pittsburgh gave us. So yeah, always shout out to Pittsburgh. Shout out to Wiz and Mac, because they're the locals to come out of Pittsburgh and do it real big. So you have to appreciate them because they really, gave our city a name, put it on the map whenever it wasn't on there.
Yeah, man. It's where, at the end of the day, it's where you're from, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you can never forget that. Always show love to Pittsburgh, and I'm actually from the outskirt town called Cannonsburg, so shout out to Cannonsburg because they held me down, too.
Awesome, man. Well, from Cannonsburg to Orlando. And like I said, it's a big adventure, and, moving away from the fam and all that. I guess what I'm trying to ask here is that, what do you look forward to for what so far you've what you've accomplished, what you've overcome? Granted, you haven't been signed yet, but still you've done a whole lot that I can say that I respect and I got to take a much authority for, and I can't wait to, just see more of Gray and Highway.
Thank you.
What are you looking forward to, man?
Ultimately, between getting paid to do music as a job is definitely something that I would love. That and just being able to reach out to people with my music on a bigger platform.
Inspire people?
Yeah, inspire people. The same way that I was inspired by, the people that I was naming earlier. I think just being able to have that power in my music is something that I strive for.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel funny I didn't ask this. What do you do? What do you and Gray? What do you guys go by? Like, who's the artist on the new album?
Actually, we're in talks of figuring that out right now because we're not sure if we're gonna release it under my SoundCloud or just have a new SoundCloud and repost it on my SoundCloud. But
is this the first time that you and Highway are like getting actually like, are y'all actually being a thing and actually like, going as a full team? Like, is this the first time for that?
Yeah, I mean, we've always worked together,
of
like
course,
I said, but
of course.
I've also done work with, other producers and stuff. So,
But this time it's all about you and him.
yeah, this time the project is just strictly me and him. All
Maybe-
the production aspects. So.
Maybe I'll come up with a group name then. Who knows?
Yeah, we had a little group for a while called Purple Elephant.
Great freaking name.
It's getting there, but Purple Elephant is definitely something to look out for, I would say.
All right. Watch out for the Purple Elephant.
What's your group name?
My little band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just called Nylai. Just
Nylai?
yeah, we just came up with some on the spot. We're basically just a blues band.
That's
a little
sweet.
blues, a little bit of jazz here and there. Well, there's 5 of us, and we're all a bunch of musicians that just like to have fun. We got Shlee. Shout out to Shlee.
Yeah.
She's
an awesome
Shlee.
singer.
Yeah, she's a little sweetheart. And, she's learning how to rock the mic slowly. I've been in a bunch of different bands growing up in high school, and this is my first one. Not in Alabama where I grew up in high school, and it's a bunch of different people. I got 2 dudes from the north, and then I got a girl from like Florida that's also been to Germany and New York. I mean, I got so much to work with, and like everybody has a different spin. Like. I mean, shout out to all my old bandmates out there, and I love them to death. But just down here, I got a lot more to work with. People have seen a whole lot more things, and the influences and the stuff that we write. It's a blast, and it's a handful. And I love just being able to sit on my drum set and just can't wait to see what they're gonna pour out next and what I can just morph it into. Man, I feel like that taffy machine that just stretches out taffy.
Yeah, diversity it's an awesome thing to have when you're working with people and collaborating. So I can definitely understand where that's coming from.
Awesome, man. All right, well, we're about to sign off here, but I got one last question for you, and this is for me, just for all the listeners and the viewers out there. As I've asked this on my last podcast, as a musician, a producer, artist, whatever you want to have as is your your career business card. What is some advice that you can give to the listeners out there?
To like aspiring artists?
You name it.
I guess just don't give up on your dreams. That sounds like really cliche, and it's probably overused a lot, but it's real. Don't give up, because I know there's going to be so many times where people tell you can't or you shouldn't, but I mean, just stick with it. If you really love it, then you really love it, and that's something that you got to do. So
don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. Simple.
# don't give up. I got you, man. Well, great. Thanks for being on the show, dude. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, guys, that was KirbKast episode 2. Thank you for tuning in, and I will put all of Gray's social medias and the link in the description below, so be sure to check him out, follow him out. He's got some brand new content coming out soon. Not sure the date, but we can look forward for that new album, and I can't wait, dude.
Yeah, it's coming soon, so.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you for tuning in. This has been KirbKast. Thank you.